All right, what's up, everybody? Frank is in his dungeon, so there's Frank. We won't be able to see him. All right, it lit up. They can hear you.
Yep, you get volume. That's it today. Sorry.
All right, sounds good.
Reception sucks down here.
No problem. So I'm actually going to do some other work while we're at it, just some play stuff for me. So what do you think of the old rules that came out today?
I don't know. I'm impartial.
I mean, it doesn't really affect you.
On the shitty side of it, everyone with 13.5s has got to buy 17.5s, right? The thing I think was maybe good about it. Let me think. There's really nothing good about it, really. I think it's just it's a parallel move, in my opinion. I mean, You're gonna have one 17.5 motor that rises to the top, and everyone's gonna run it, and the class will be just as fast as 13.5 with timing. So I don't think they really did anything.
It might actually be faster.
Yeah, I mean it's possible. I sent you a video the other day. I did a test with just a 10.5 in blinky mode versus timing, and it had 80,000 RPM. So
yeah.
No, I mean, timing's a wonderful thing. It makes a lot of horsepower. So it's I don't know. I think it's a parallel move. I think their heads were in the right place to try to help out beginners, and keep the more serious racers out of the class.
Oh, as far as limiting the two classes, you mean?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, for sure, absolutely. I think being only able to run one class keeps the faster guys, more competitive people out of the 17.5. But I don't know. I mean, you got a lot of people that like racing two classes to fill the day as well.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think it was a parallel move and probably just pissed a lot of people off, really.
I would agree with that, which, I mean, when you look at it, it's pretty much either way.
It wasn't no huge improvement.
No, I don't think it was. And I think for true beginners, it's probably a step backwards. For the guys you're trying to push into outlaw and not racing 13.5,
yeah,
they're not going to be happy about it because they want to run those classes anyway. So
I mean, I think if they wanted to kind of make the class better, it sucks to say it, but the only way to make a stock class more fair, I guess you could say, is running like a spec sealed timing motor, right?
Yeah.
That's really the only way to do it. There's no other way.
Yeah, I mean, and we saw that with all the on-road stuff, and we went to like a handout spec motor, and then everything was really
basically had that with 13.5 with the R1 motor.
Yeah.
Everybody was running it because it was the fastest motor. So, I mean, there's a lot of bitching about 13.5 on social media, but every race I go to, 13.5 runs really smooth and everyone's happy.
Yeah.
I mean, I think a lot of times these people take the social media shit to heart when it's just a lot of people just bitching over bullshit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's my thoughts on it. I mean, it's not good, it's not bad, it's parallel in my opinion.
Yeah.
Except it's going to cost a bunch of people more money to replace all their 13.5s.
Yeah. Yeah, that I can definitely see.
I mean, do you see any benefit to going 17.5 timing? I mean, maybe I'm missing it.
No. I mean, honestly, no.
I mean, I can see 17.5 blinky, maybe, to slow if they want to slow the class down, because 13.5 was getting pretty fast. I mean, 2 3s, 2 4s were pretty common in 13.5. And that's moving for somebody just getting into the hobby.
Yeah, and that's one of the things, like, I could see doing this if you're trying to make a true beginner class and you make
it VXL. I mean, the VXL stuff's really popular in a lot of states right now,
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, I'm just glad I'm not having to make rules for people to race by. I think no matter what they do, they're going to get lynched.
Yeah, and that's one of the things that, I mean, like, I was going to tell some experience with some of that stuff. And, I mean, I'll give you an example. Like, I forget what it was, maybe 2008, 9, 10, somewhere in that range. I was at the On-Road Worlds in Listalo.
Yep.
So, and we're hanging out and talking and whatever. And one of the things that we're at the banquet afterwards. We were discussing a lot of the stuff, and Roar people were there, and they were asking me, what I thought about a bunch of the rules and different stuff like that. And the one thing that scares me whenever you have a group of people that just make rules without almost like demoing it at some races and stuff.
Well, that's another thing I was going to say. I think they made up that 17.5 class without getting out there for a couple weeks and running one.
Yeah.
If you order one of them outlaw 17.5s and add 150 degrees timing to the thing, it's going to be just as fast as a 13.5. And I don't think they realize. I think their intention was originally to maybe slow down the class, and I don't think they did that.
Yeah, and that's one of the things like we talked about there was, okay, you guys made at the time it was on LiPo batteries. It was on battery case size.
Yep.
And I said, you guys made this case size, and the problem is you made a rule and said this is the rule. But there's two massive problems with the way that they wrote it. Number one, the batteries are going to get better. They're going to get better. Everything always improves. Technology is not going to sit still.
Yeah, absolutely.
So for number one, I understand that they made the case size so massive because they wanted LiPo to right away outrun sub-Cs.
Yeah.
So, okay, I get that. The problem was, though, is you had touring cars at the time with round cells. They had 3.5 or 4 millimeter chassis that were running on carpet. And, well, then you made a LiPo case that was 25. And I said, why'd you guys make that case size 25 millimeter? Oh, well, that's what we were running in, that's what would fit in a B3 or B4 or whatever it was at the time buggy.
Yeah.
So that's great. You just made a perfect fitting battery for that. I said, but did you even look at a touring car?
Yeah.
I said, because all the top decks and everything are right down on top of the batteries. Like the oval cars, the cross braces would wrap over the top of the batteries. I said, you guys made this case size and it only fits off-road cars. It doesn't fit any on-road cars. I said, and you didn't make any provisions for how much the batteries are going to improve over, a couple year life cycle. These are brand new. They're going to get way better at a very, very fast clip. At the time we were running 4,200 milliamps, from 1100s or 1,000 milliamps that I started with when I was a kid.
Yep.
So I think it was one of those things. I told him, I said, look, you should have looked at those cars, and the maximum case size should have been 18 millimeters, and then they would have fit in a 12 scale, and they would have fit in a touring car, and they would have fit in an off-road car, and everything would have been standardized and fine. But the way that they did it, at the time I owned my track, and it tripled our on-road entries because half the guys were running sub-Cs, half the guys were running LiPos. The cars drove like crap because the batteries didn't fit and they had to hang them out the side of the cars. And there was just so much stuff like that to where it just didn't make sense.
Yeah, to wait for drag racing when everyone's running 20,000 milliamp batteries in a couple years. And,
and that's
you got to redesign cars around batteries. They're doing it now, with the large max amps and R1 packs and everything else that's out there.
That was actually
one
of the
companies
things.
Are having to design cars around a fucking battery.
Yeah, and that was actually one of the things I was going to ask you about to see what you thought of do this. Won't let me do that. That's interesting. Oh well everybody can listen or watch me draw a shock tower while we chat. But that's one of the things I was going to ask you about. What you thought of the LiPo battery rules?
I don't think it matters because you're only putting so much power down. Once the traction comes up a little bit more, probably in the next year, then I think it's going to start mattering.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like there should be some type of rule in place for batteries just to keep it from getting crazy, which I feel it's already there at crazy.
Yeah, I think Nick Bell has talked about that a little bit too. And that's one of the things that I don't understand is the battery case size to me doesn't need to be like,
Well,
doesn't need
there's a
to be,
balance between milliamps and there's a balance you got to find there with milliamps and how many P's the batteries have, you know.
yeah. And I mean, I get that for durability because of what you guys are doing to them.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like, I
Where's
really
it
just,
end?
well, yeah. And at the same time, I don't like seeing a $200 battery pack. That's not the way to bring more people and racers out to the races.
No, I agree. I think that 13.5 or 17.5 should have probably been a milliamp limited class, maybe a Roar 2S pack, you know, or I don't know. I think they would have kept it cheap if people could have bought batteries for like $50, $60, you know.
Yeah, and again, that's one of those things. Like I go back to, you know, drop milling like the chassis on the oval cars.
Yeah.
Do we really need to do it? If it's the same for everybody and we just make it not legal, we just save everybody money and the racing's all the same. So
yeah. Well, what I was getting at with the balance thing, it's a balance between milliamps and weight, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, how heavy do you want? These batteries are already like 500, 550 grams.
Yeah.
But pretty soon these cars are going to be just like a battery with some shocks on it. You know, it's
yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I can't light my cars up enough with these giant batteries.
Really?
I mean, you can, but you got to work to do it, you know.
Yeah.
Luckily they work better like around 2250, you know.
Gotcha.
So, I don't know. But
I'm not running
I
mine.
think the batteries are
That's against my religion.
What's that?
That's against my religion. When
I know, man.
When I build a car,
too.
there's no freaking way I'm running a car that heavy. I don't care if it runs like crap and I'm slow.
I know.
I'm not building a track car that's that heavy.
Yeah, that's where we come from, man.
It's against my religion, man. That's not happening.
I hear that. But yeah, I don't know. Everything's a mess right now. Not a mess. I mean, it's good. I don't want to say it's a mess because it's good. I mean, they got a good rule set. I mean, you got a lot of people involved. You know, it's a mess. Social media is a mess, is what it is. The racing's fine. The rules are fine. Everything's fine.
That's kind of always
people
the
would
way
just
it
go
is.
out and race, ignore social media and stop trolling each other on fucking Facebook, I think everything would be a lot better.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know,
I've
never been to a race where everyone didn't have a good time.
Yeah, and it seems like a lot of people were pretty hostile right away. I saw it and I just started cracking up laughing. I'm like, oh man, here we go. The only thing the funny part is I didn't even look
a lot of other forms of racing, you know.
Yeah, the funny part is like I looked at all that and it didn't even like register to me. Like I was like, okay, you know, whatever. And the first thing I'm looking for is whether or not they like ban the hood inserts or any tire rules.
All I know is everyone's gonna need your really soft tires in that dry tire class.
Yeah.
That's all I know. You're gonna sell a shit ton of tires.
I hope so.
Them super softs you got, or that's where it's at for that class.
Yeah, I don't think people realize how soft they are. When I got that other pair to look at and compare them, it's pretty comical.
What's good is they're soft enough to be tunable. You can make them soft or firm, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
Good tunable tire.
Yeah, so that'll be fun. Actually, the production molds being made now, we should have some samples and stuff of that. I'm guessing before you actually go to Florida out of the production tool. Like
nice.
They actually told me by the end of this week it might actually be done.
That'd be legit.
I mean, that's pretty insane. And like I said, the foam inserts are done. So if we print up some wheels, like there could be some of those tires rolling around before Florida. So
cool.
So I think the only thing we're going to be waiting on to actually like launch and ship production will be rims. So just depending on the timing of the rims, if the rims are good, then I mean, I don't want to quote anything or whatever, so people get all excited. But for some reason, people keep asking me like, "Hey, are these really going to be available in May or something like that?" I'm like, May. Like why? Like March 7th is our target date, and we may beat that. So That's kind of where.
Keep on plugging away, dude.
Yeah, that's where I'm at with all that stuff. So, and that's,
But yeah, I mean, speaking of tires, I figured that the NPRC would follow suit with that Florida race and ditch the burnout rule or make it optional at least.
yeah,
Because the
for
burnouts people do with these cars is not even a burnout. It doesn't get anything off the tire. It doesn't change the starting line whatsoever. I mean, it still gets tacked up whether there's a burnout or no burnout.
Yeah.
I mean, it just kind of makes sense, you know. It's like, why are we trying to put lipstick on a pig? You know, I mean, it's just let it go.
Yeah, and you know the guys, if they're running 13 or 17.5 with the dry tire stuff, they're going to do a burnout, but you know it doesn't make any sense for you guys
to heat their tires. You know, I mean, it's just the evolution of this form of racing, right? I mean, it's where it's going. You know, I mean, the cars are so stuck as it is. You might as well just say skip the burnout and run. I mean, I don't know. It just doesn't make sense to me. It wears out tires and heats up speed controls, and it's unnecessary.
Yeah.
But hey, whatever. If they want that little chirp, cool.
So if you could change, if you were the no prep czar and you could change rules, what would it be?
I wouldn't, because I'd never put myself in that position as a racer. Maybe like one day, if this shit's still around when I'm old and not racing anymore,
when you're like me,
maybe I'll help out. But no, I don't even want to comment to that, because honestly, as a racer, I'll race anything. I don't give a shit.
I understand that.
They can make whatever rules they want, and I'll abide by them and figure out how to make my shit work the best I can within those rules, and go race and do what I can, you know, and have fun and try to win. You know, that's what you do as a racer. You just adapt and go race.
Yeah.
So I don't give a shit what the rules are, honestly. I'm just trying to put my 2 cents in what would make life easier on everybody, in my opinion, you know?
Yeah.
Like the wing rule. Every race I've been to where they've tried to measure wings to roof height's been a debacle, you know, because it's different at every track, and the tables aren't level, and body rake's different on every body, and so you got 20, 30 people in the tech line cutting their spoiler down. And if they would just make it the 1 inch to the deck, nobody's going to run a 1.5 inch spoiler anyway, because it slows the shit out of the car. I mean, there's a happy medium there. And I think they'd still look realistic, like they're going for with the scale appearing, whatever. And people'd all be within it. You know, it'd be like, hey, he looks under 1.5 inches. And if someone, for some reason, looks close, they just throw up a scale and there it is, you know. But what do I know?
Probably be a good idea.
Like I said, it don't matter what they do. We'll be legal everywhere we go and do what we can, as everyone else will.
Yeah.
And you can bitch about it on social media all you want. Nothing's going to change. So.
Yeah. It's funny though.
Yeah, I mean, it makes your day go by fast.
Yeah, and I'll be honest. Like, I know a lot of people are mad about it, but this one is probably one of the more mild tweaks or changes, if you will.
To outlaw to 13.5. I mean, you know, 13.5 isn't even a big change. Buy a fucking motor, you know?
Yeah.
It's not like you don't have thousands of dollars invested in this shit anyway. Spend $80 on a 17.5 motor and go race.
Yeah.
It's like I said, it's not like you got to build a completely new car, you know, and everything else. It's pretty simple. It's a motor and a pinion. And if you need help with tuning the ESC, you know, just go find help.
Yeah. I don't think any of that is going to be too crazy. Like I said, the only thing I see with it is the fact that there's a lot of guys that have, you know, 2 cars because they go to a lot of races running 2 classes.
Yeah, not being able to run 2 classes is the bigger deal.
I think, and I think that in itself just amplifies
But
why
I'll
everybody.
tell you right now, 99% of the races aren't going to abide by that. They're going to
Yeah,
let people run both classes. Just
yeah,
because it's an NPRC rule doesn't mean every track's going to follow 100% NPRC rules.
right.
So, I mean, people getting bent out of shape about it, I wouldn't even worry about it because most of these race promoters, they don't care. They want the entries. And,
Oh yeah, you want the
and they want
events.
people to have a good time and fill their day. And if they want to run 2 classes, if nobody objects, they'll run both classes, you know?
Yeah, yeah, they're
It's
gonna
not
want.
like anyone's going to object. I mean,
Yeah, they're gonna want the events to be as big as possible and
yeah.
draw as many people racing and you know that's the bit. That's the only part of it that worries me is okay. I could see it if you were gonna have 500 outlaw cars and just from an outlaw or from a standpoint of running the race, and you
Yeah,
would actually maintain that. Okay, great. Then at that point, just make it an outlaw only event. But
exactly. Like
it,
Super Chips
yeah,
in Oklahoma.
gotcha. So I mean
Outlaw only. What's that?
so yeah, I mean that's the type of thing where you know if it's a smaller event that isn't maxed out and capped and all that stuff, then
Yeah,
what's the big
whatever.
deal? Let everybody race.
Yep.
I mean, now granted, I'm probably kind of biased because I'm one of the idiots that would go to snowbirds and race 8 classes.
Yeah, yeah.
So I think my view probably isn't very valid on that.
Yeah, we're kind of opposites of the spectrum there. Like, I kind of favor that if you're running outlaw, stay the fuck out of 17.5.
Yeah.
It's like an open mod racer in touring car running stock.
Yeah.
It's like, why?
Well, that I totally don't like or agree with. So,
but I kind of look at this similar. You know what I mean? I kind of look at like outlaw is like a pro mod class, and 17.5 or whatever is the stock class.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
But I mean, I get it too, where people want to fill their day. They're not so serious, and they're not doing it with intentions to cherry pick. They're just doing it because they want to fill their day with 2 classes.
Yeah,
which 100% makes sense. And I think the NPRC rule makers are trying to keep the cherry pickers out of the stock class.
Well, at that point though, you kind of got to know like who everybody is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like who all the guys are.
Yeah.
There's no reason to.
Exactly. Like I don't have a problem ridiculing Mark Vine or Jeff Zuccarelli for running 13.5. Fucking get out of that class. Come play with Outlaw more. But I see their point of view too, where they get extra track time. You can tell what the tracks do. If you're running 2 classes and the weather changes, your 13.5 car gets a little loose, your outlaw car is fucked, and you know to make the adjustments. So it's honestly, smart. It's smart on their part.
Yeah, that was one of the reasons why, for example, like I always ran that stupid World GT class in on-road.
Yeah.
Because we didn't have a local track anymore, so trying to practice or anything, man, is a shock tower ugly. I'm not even going to show it anymore. It's too ugly. So, man, I can't stand some of the dimensions on these drag cars. So, that's one of the things that I used it for, is it always kind of gave me a good, safe baseline before I went and tried to hang on to a modified 12-scale car.
Yeah, and I get that 100%.
It was just a really safe way to go about doing that, know where I was at, and, and also being the fact that we didn't really have a local track here in a while now, it gave me a chance to try and catch up for the guys that did have tracks and were practicing and burning tons of laps and everything. So
yeah, and usually the 13.5 or 17.5 is a cheaper entry fee. It's not a big money class, so it's
really
taken a little lighter usually. I mean, the entry fee
I
is usually
didn't
maybe half of what Outlaw is.
Oh wow!
Like if Outlaw's 20, 13.5 will usually be 10.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
Normally, I mean, most races I've been to, I mean, other places could do it differently, but
okay.
I mean, I don't know. I like the class. I mean, Lindsay raced it, Ace raced it a little this summer. It's a good class, and 17.5 will be a good class too. So it's, I don't know.
It'll definitely. I think it'll be faster.
Yeah, half of one, 6 dozen of the other. It'll be close. I think they'll be on par with each other. And I'm sure some tracks will race them together, 13.5 and 75, then and 17.5. Then we'll start to see which one's faster.
Yeah.
They'll run them together for a couple races until they figure out which is quicker. Then everyone will switch to it.
You think they'll do
Switch
that?
to the quicker one. I can see it happening. I can see some people putting 17.5s in to play around for the first couple races and running them with 13.5s to see.
True.
But they're not. One's going to be faster than the other, so it's not going to be like that for long.
Yeah, I think off the line the 13.5s will kill 17.5s for about the first 15, 20 feet. Then they'll level out, and from 30 feet on, once you get all the timing and boost kicking in, 17.5 is going to be gone.
Yeah. And I don't even think they'll kill them off the line because most of the 13.5s are slowed down a little bit the first 6, 7 foot.
Do they have to be
the ones we messed with were turned down quite a bit for about 6, 7 feet to take off smooth.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that they might not be any different. They might just be faster straight away.
Yeah, most 13.5 cars will 60 to 66 foot, similar to an outlaw car.
Really?
The good ones, yeah.
Okay.
Similar, yeah.
So it's just the top end that they lose out on.
Yeah, they're done by half track.
Gotcha.
Yeah, but no, I don't know. I think they did a good job on the rules. It's whatever,
What? So what else you got to get ready to go to Florida?
I don't even know. I got to cycle a lot of batteries. Batteries, tires. I got to organize because everything's a disaster. And I don't even know why. It should be cleaner, but I just been spending a lot of time on cars lately, just making sure everything's perfect on the cars.
Gotcha.
So I think those are pretty situated. So we'll take a few down there and run them and see which ones we end up racing. But we'll see. Yeah, just typical stuff, man. Preparation. Cycling, batteries, tires, organizing.
So you're on the trailer unless it gets really warm here in the next.
Yeah, I got a test car ready to go to try some new things with ESCs and maybe tires. Who knows?
Yeah.
Yeah, we had a couple warm days. I take advantage of them and get out and test something.
Okay.
I've always got stuff going.
Well, warm for us would be like 39 degrees maybe next Sunday. So
that'd be nice. I'm down. Last time went out last week, it was like 35.
Oh.
And Lindsay's car ran the best 66 foot we've ever ran. Just about.
Really?
So yeah. It ran right on par in 35-degree weather.
Holy crap.
Yeah, so she's gonna have a hot rod in Miami.
Nice. I wish all you guys in Miami good luck.
Thanks.
So did you end up getting an oval car or not?
No, I don't know.
Good man.
Nick Bell said he's got one for me.
Screw that.
I don't know. He's bringing it to the drag race in Florida the week before the Birds, and I guess I'll decide if I'm going to race while we're down there.
Dude,
I don't know. It depends how the week at the drag strip goes.
If you end up going to Snowbirds and racing, I'm gonna laugh at you so hard.
Yeah, I know it'll be good. I'll take the car Nick built for me and just swap him and take his car.
Oh yeah, I can see you going there, walking in, looking around, and being like, "There's no way am I doing this. I haven't practiced or run. That is just so not your."
It'd probably be all the same people I raced with 15 years ago.
Yeah, pretty much.
But I mean, that's a shame that oval's kind of not very popular anymore. There was a time that oval was it was the biggest thing going. It was just awesome. You can go race 2 days a week, 3 days a week. You go anywhere in the country and find a good track to race at. And it was just awesome, man. The competition was just incredible. It was a lot of fun, man. I wish those days we're going to come back for oval, but I just don't see it. I mean, I'm not saying it's not competitive now. I know it is. These guys all put in a lot of work.
It's super competitive. It's the same. I think it's the same thing though. I mean, the cars now are so stuck that it's so horsepower dependent.
Yeah.
You know, you can even have the best car on the track, and if you don't,
I think one of the only years it wasn't so horsepower dependent is when they ran 2-cell open mod.
yes,
You know, that was the most fun I ever had driving an oval car. 2 cells with a 3-turn.
Well, that's what made it hard too. Is it was 2 cells, 3-turn, and they
and
were
a car less than half the weight of one of these drag cars with the same horsepower.
Yeah, but they were blinky.
Yeah,
so they had crazy rip with like no top end. So you kind of had to balance that gear and all that kind of stuff. Those were only, didn't we run like GTBs or something like that?
Yeah, but now I've seen a lot of the videos of the current 1-cell stuff, and this shit's flying now. It's even faster now.
Well,
but there is a lot of bite.
We ran 2-cell 10.5 because I TQ'd and you won.
Okay. Gotcha.
Because I blew up my motor in the last qualifier because I put the wrong pinion on. I put my 17.5 pinion on and blew up my only good motor.
Nice. Yeah, dude, we had a good battle that weekend.
You drove away from me in the end. We were close to qualifying. You drove away from me in the main. I had nothing.
We were going back and forth all weekend.
I think I might have finished third behind Pete. Pete might have gotten in the main too, but you were gone. You put like 3/4 of a lap on us.
Yeah.
So
it was fun back then. It'd be fun to do some oval again, man. Seriously, it'd be a good time. But I just wish the popularity would come back. I mean, the social media presence of oval is basically non-existent. You know.
Yeah.
There's no coverage on it. You know, you don't see race results posted all over the place or anything,
and I'll be honest, I go back to the same thing with why this drag racing stuff is. You still see the same thing where guys go now, they race, it's hand out tires, this and that, hand out motor or batteries, whatever, and there's no money.
Yeah.
Like all you're doing is just throwing money in a hole. Where you guys drag racing, you can race for a few bucks. So when you go home, your wives aren't as mad at you, and like they actually might want to come race a little bit, you know, like yours are and Ace is running. And
the money's a huge attraction, man. I mean, if it wasn't for the money, I wouldn't be spending like every free minute I have wrenching on shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean,
it's fun. I have a lot of fun doing it, and the money just like it entices you a little bit too. You know, I mean, if somebody was to go out and win like all the big races, it'll never happen. But if someone was to go out and win all the big races, they could win over $100,000 this year racing RC cars.
Yeah.
So I mean, where can you do that? RC racing, you know, nowhere.
Yeah, and that's what I don't think a lot of people from the on-road and oval sides realize is, you know, and I don't know, I'm gonna make a video dedicated to that discussion in itself, just because of some of the opinions that I've heard people say on it really kind of aggravate me because it assumes the worst in people.
Yeah.
Which I'm not too fond of, but I really think the money in it and just the overall environment of drag racing being so new and so many people interested and excited and everything like that, I think that's why it's become so big.
And money works in drag racing because you're not on a track with 9 other racers, and you're not getting taken out by somebody, you know.
Yeah.
So I mean, you're racing yourself basically. There's no chance of somebody screwing you out of winning. You know, screw yourself out of it, and that's it.
But I still have the argument on that. I raced as a professional for a lot of years.
Yeah.
Every race for me was racing for money with, you know, 3 to 20 other guys that were doing the same thing.
Yeah, so, I mean, if you can keep your composure and not be a hothead and all that other fun stuff, I mean, it's easy. They could all run for money.
There was a lot of us that still were hothead and had driver stand Tourette's.
Oh, I know.
Stuff. But I think that's also the draw in it.
Yeah.
You know, when you have that ability to be like, damn, it's how much money? All right, you know what? I'm going to practice. Yeah. I'm going to put in the time and work because there's something to show for it.
Exactly.
Where, you know, with the way it is right now, like there's nothing. You can go.
Yeah, I mean, it's a fun hobby, of course, you know, and it's racing. So, yeah, it's a fun racing hobby. You know, it's the other forms of RC right now. Where drag racing, it's a fun RC hobby, but there's money, and everybody who doesn't love money, you know. It's like,
well, it also, I mean, you can, like you said, you can I mean, someone can go up against you and you red light, and the next guy overpowers it, and the next thing you know, that dude's going home with a couple grand check, and he's happy, and
it happens all the time. You know, I mean, there's so many variables that it's hard for one person to dominate this form of racing.
Yeah.
Whereas like touring car or oval, if you had your shit together, you can go win every single race in a year.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's really, really, really next to impossible with this.
Yeah. And I mean, I had like other than the worlds, of course, but I mean, I had stretches where I went like 4 years without losing a 12 skill race.
There you go.
You know, so
I mean, you're not going to do that in drag racing.
No, not a chance.
No matter how good you are, how fast you are, it's just there's so many variables to a form of racing that's so simple. It's crazy, and it's challenging. You know, the different surfaces, and it's a lot there. It's a lot to it that people from the outside that haven't done it looking in don't understand. You know, they're like, oh, it's going in a straight line. How hard could it be? But
it's a lot harder than you think.
Yeah, it's pretty damn hard.
It kind of reminds me of the oval racing in the fact that it is so much car and setup and your knowledge of everything in that respect.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But it's fun. Something to do.
Yeah. So what's Ace's next race?
In the springtime. He'll race somewhere in the spring. He's been playing with that little DR28, that little mini drag car in the house like every day almost. He's
You worn it out yet?
Yeah, almost. He wore one of them out. We still got another one that he's playing with, but yeah. He's to the age where he's starting to get some hand-eye coordination, and he can focus long enough now. And
nice.
Yep. So now I'm gonna have him and Lindsay kicking my ass.
Nice. You know what though? That's good though.
Yep.
You can sit and hang out and
absolutely
let them terrorize everybody, and
I want to get to the point where they just race and I'll just like hang out and maybe wrench once in a while or something.
Maybe wrench once. What you mean?
I don't even want to race. I want to be like I'll be a team owner. Less stressful. That way, if they red light, I could just bitch.
Nice. Outstanding.
Yeah. Fun.
That's good.
So what do you got going on with that shock tower?
I'm trying to make a shock tower for my drag car that'll fit underneath our stupid hood insert.
Yeah, that car you got a tall shock tower.
These B6.3 conversions, I didn't realize like how crazy tall these shock towers are. When I came out to test with you and like a picture of our cars sitting next to each other, I saw how tall it is. I'm like, oh my God, no wonder why they have this thing on these bodies. Like I didn't realize I thought it was just a Traxxas car. I didn't realize that the associated cars were that bad too.
Yeah, you need some short GFRP front shocks or something and slam that thing.
Yeah, I'm trying to just see if I can print something because I actually want to try and I got a bunch of carbon fiber filament for my wife's printers.
Okay.
So I'm gonna print a shock tower and see how easy it is to bust that.
There you go.
And I'm also gonna
hopefully it lasts longer than the spur gears.
Yeah, well, those didn't really have a chance in that temperature, and to their defense, I ran the two like cheapest resins that I knew were basically going to powder right away.
Yeah.
So
the one lasted like triple the time the other one did, though. So
yeah, the one lasted about.
You could tell it was a big difference in the two resins that you tried that day.
Yeah. The one went about 5 feet and was toast.
The other one took off and went for a minute.
Yeah, the other one went about 30 feet before my car shut off because I forgot to charge the battery.
Yeah. Why
That's one of those. I'm like, I wonder why my car browned out. And I'm like, I never charged that battery.
That'll do it.
Well, the best part is is when I'm sitting here sanding all the rims and tires, like when we're cleaning all the supports off, that was a battery I had hooked into my my tire sander, so it wasn't even like in storage mode. Like it was really low.
Dead.
I had to hook up my charger and top it back off. It's one of those. That's like, funny. Oh man, that was really stupid. Like I had a dead battery in it. No wonder why it cut off.
You're getting old, dude. You can't remember shit anymore.
Low priority. I'm trying to do that. So, but I got Scott's car pretty much done.
Cool.
So he's ready to go. So I'm gonna steal the wheelie bar wheels I stole from Brad and throw it on his car while I print up some of my own to play with.
There you go.
See if those hold up. And I guess I already started mounting a body. I printed some body posts, some of those little body posts, collars and stuff. Like I said, I was working on a shock tower so I can get a hood insert in it. And, so I think I'll be ready for you to, embarrass me when we go out and test next time.
It's all good, dude. It'll take you about a half a day to get it figured out.
Oh, I did get that other thing too. So I know everybody in drag racing is all about Futaba and Sanwa radios, but I need to switch my screen.
Yeah. Did you figure out some trickery with the KO?
So I've raced for KO now since like 1999, 2000, something like that. So I bought my first radio in like over 20, 30, 25 years or something like that. So that was kind of fun. But yeah, I think it'll do everything that that needs to be done. So it'll be interesting. Good. So I'm gonna I have all my old previous radios, so I'm gonna probably drive and play around with each of them.
Yep.
And then see how big of a difference that one is.
There you go.
So yeah, lots of stuff going on and to do. I got all the printers going in the room except for my wife's because she's at hockey with the girls. So the one new one is printing clear rims. The other one is doing hoods.
Nice.
So we've actually had a bunch of orders for hoods, and being how the quality came out on the rims, I was really curious what some hoods would look like. So I'm doing more of those. So hoods are there. Clear transparent rims are there. That one is black air looper rear rims. That one is fluorescent red rear rims. And that one is the cut bead front tires. So,
busy.
And then the little one that's running next to me has got the air valves. That's off camera. And then the one like right over my head back here, this is printing dragon stuff for my kid because that's her printer. So yeah, everything's in motion here at the moment. So
very good.
Yeah.
So what else we got about rules and fun that happened today?
I think that's about it. Yeah. I don't think there was anything else too crazy. Do you?
No, I think every post I seen was just about the rules.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, it's expected.
Yeah.
Tim Smith's back.
I saw that. He's back online, huh?
Yeah.
Did anybody find out where he went? Did he just like accidentally delete his account or Facebook ban him or something? What happened there?
I think it was a momentary pause for better health. And I can't blame him.
He might be doing the same thing again now.
No, I get it, man. Social media can be fucking rude.
Yeah. Oh, I know.
There's some vultures out there, man.
I know.
Tim's good. He's good for the hobby. He's a good guy. He's one of them characters you need in the show. Good dude. He'll help anybody. He's good. My dad likes his podcast, so.
Oh yeah.
He listens to it a lot. Yeah.
I can't say that I've tuned into much of everybody's stuff. Just
It's entertaining. It's good.
yeah.
I like
I'm
Paul.
usually thrashing on enough stuff. I don't need distractions.
Yeah, I have
Mind
playing in
as
the
it is.
background usually.
Yeah,
I'm working on shit.
gotcha. Usually my wife's back here watching South Park or some other obnoxious cartoon.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that stupid show's been on like 24 years or something like that.
Makes you feel old.
15 or 16 or something. I'm like, what?
Yeah, we're not
I'm
kids
like, this
anymore.
is terrible. How did this last this many years? This is insane.
Agreed.
That's too funny.
Yeah.
So what do you think for the coming year? How much faster are you guys going to go?
Shit. I don't know, man. I don't know. I would have never thought we'd go this fast this year.
I don't know. I did.
You did. You did. I wasn't mentally prepared to put in the effort that I did this summer, but I did it anyway.
Well, it's kind of funny. Like you talked about, like I'm going to run this race and then I'm done.
Yeah, I'm done.
Then I like see you posted and you're going somewhere. I'm like,
yeah, I was done for like a day and a half.
Yeah, like, okay, crack addict, what are you doing again? Like, you're back at it. I thought you were taking a day off. No.
I don't even know what the limiting factors are right now, dude, for going faster. Because as fast as we're going now, there's more left in what we have.
Yeah.
Like quite a bit more. So I wouldn't be surprised to see 100-mile-an-hour next year. At like
within the next year, or by this time next year.
Yeah, somebody will go 100.
Nice.
There's a lot of fast people out there now too. I mean, so many people stepped up their game over the last like 4 or 5 months.
Yeah,
it's not like 1 or 2 or 3 fast guys. There's like 20. You know, it's out of them 20, somebody's going to be working constantly, nonstop to figure it out, and it'll get figured out. Yep. You know, I don't know if it's traction or speed controls, and
I think
it'll be motors. I think motor design needs to be improved slightly, but I think these motor companies are on top of it. So,
yeah, I think all that stuff is going to get better. I think on top of that, hopefully tires make a dent in that some too. Yeah, I think everybody's going to be coming with new bodies this season.
Yeah.
Usual thing, you know, a body dominates for a while, and enough people are going to throw something at a wall that a different body's going to stick.
That's happening very, 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 very soon.
Yeah. I've heard from a few different people that they have new bodies coming, so I could easily see probably 10 to 15 bodies by
next year.
June.
Yeah. Yeah. So I mean, I don't know what the limiting factor is right now. I thought it was tires, but I mean, dude, your tires are going to be stupid ridiculous. The tires out now are pretty good. I mean, they'll go 100. I mean, it's just ESC technology is very close. I really don't know, man. Batteries and motors, maybe.
Yeah.
And some more ESC. Everything just needs to evolve a little more, which it's continuing to do. So it'll happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting. It'll be definitely interesting.
Yeah, for sure.
I kind of laughed from that. You didn't say anything about car.
The cars will do it. The cars, there's no problem with the car doing it right now.
Yeah.
My car will go 100 like a fucking Cadillac right now, if I could figure out the power a little more.
Yeah.
And usually cars like the first thing I always talk about. You know me, I'm like a setup guy, dude. I've never been a horsepower guy. I've always been like a chassis guy, and I'm really confident in the cars right now.
Well, that's because you always had horsepower. That's a pretty big difference. And
yeah,
we'd go race oval and you'd go flying by me, and I'm thrashing on my car and horsepower, and you're working on your car because you had enough horsepower.
Yeah, back then I knew who to talk to.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
but
usually
I don't know.
make wise choices for oval stuff.
What's that?
I didn't usually make wise choices for oval stuff for equipment.
Yeah, that was always like a secondary class for you.
Yeah. I loved running it and running with you guys. I just didn't have enough time usually to do it with all the on-road stuff.
Yeah, it was a blast, man. It was fun. But yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know where this stuff's going, like speed wise. It's just I don't ever see it stopping. I think every year it's just gonna get faster and faster and faster.
Yeah.
It has to. All racing does.
Yeah. The only thing I
It
wish
doesn't have a choice to sit still.
Yeah. The only thing I wish they would do is back off on the battery case sizes. I still worry about somebody losing it and wadding one of those things up and making a big
Oh,
fight.
people have done that. They've caught fire.
Have they?
Yeah, it's usually not too bad.
Okay.
Car catches fire, whatever. Get it out of everyone's way. Let it burn. Or try douse it with a fire extinguisher, but that usually don't do too good with a lipo.
No, you need a sand bucket.
They've got some new stuff out that suffocates the lipo fire.
Really?
Yeah. You spray on it and it suffocates it.
Nice. Like a foam that like encases it or something?
I don't know. I'm not sure. Seen a couple of videos of it, but couldn't tell exactly what it was. But I don't know. I don't think that's a huge deal. I mean, that's far and few between where they wreck that bad to puncture the battery, but it happens. And I don't think limiting the case size or anything is going to do much for that unless they went to hard cases. But then you're adding weight. Nobody wants to add unnecessary weight.
True.
There are companies working on some like 2S, 5P hard packs right now.
Are they? Good.
Yeah. So we'll see. And they're supposed to be fairly light. So not any heavier than what's out there already.
That's good.
So I think they're heading in the right direction with that.
Nice.
Yeah. Now if they could just all settle on a shape.
Yeah, I seen the size of some of these, and even the packs that I have are like tiny compared to some of the packs you guys have now. It's insane.
I mean, and the reasoning for the shape is certain shapes of cells perform better, right? And I guess because of how they can wire them together with the bus bars.
Yep.
So.
Yep.
Makes sense. But it'd be nice to get on the same page and everybody, all these chassis companies, car companies can design a chassis to fit a battery.
Yeah. Well, it's just kind of a bummer, like all the aero cars now are such a difficult fit for people.
Yeah, which it's cool that Dustin's coming out with a conversion plate though for the aero cars to allow the big batteries.
Yeah.
But I mean, what a pain in the ass, you know?
Yeah. Which again, it goes right back to what I was talking about with the lipos versus round cells and touring car.
Yep, same deal.
There should have just been all right, guys, don't make them any bigger than this. Just
here's our footprint and deal with it.
Yeah, I mean that would be reasonable, but everybody wants to go fast, and I think in a way that it's good that they don't have a ton of rules on everything.
Yeah, dude, it's outlaw. Fuck rules.
That was one of the things I was going to ask you about. So I see them talking about like motor rules and stuff. So do they actually? I mean, you've been to Snowbirds and do all the motor tech and tear down and all the crazy stuff. Do they do that at a drag race?
Motors. They don't tech anything at all for these motors.
No.
Nope. Any commercially available motors legal.
But I mean, even in like 13.5.
13.5. No, you know what? They don't tech for inductance or anything. They just look at the motor and say, okay, it's an R1 13.5, go.
Wow.
Yeah. Which, I mean, if you're a motor person, that leaves a lot of...
these guys are so lucky Dieter's not drag racing yet. Holy cow.
He messaged me last week.
Dude.
He's involved now.
That's not good.
I know.
It's not good. These guys are going to have 17.5s that'll outrun 3/4 of the outfield.
I know. Yeah, man. He was showing interest, and I was so happy to see that.
He gave me some 6. So this is one of the things I always laugh about, like the motor rules that these people think that they're going to put in place for spec. They're going to leave it open, but they're going to make it a spec. You got somebody like Dieter. So we went the what race was it? The Halloween race was talking about doing 6.5, and I think Scotty did 6.5 at IIC because that's what England had gotten to.
Yeah.
And England was small enough in 12 scale that they're just running like off the shelf 6.5s. So we get to the race, and Dieter has 6.5s, and he's got stuff wound up. And we had 6.5s that had like better resistance than a 4.0 or a 3.
I know. Yeah, it's easy to do, especially a class like that 13.5 was. I mean, it was an 13.5 outlaw motor. There's no specifications for anything other than say 13.5 on the can. You know, I mean, somebody could have been running a 10.5 or 7.5 stator in a 13.5 can, and nobody know it at any of these big races because there was zero motor tech. So that's kind of where we get back to the only way to make a class like that
handout
run how it's supposed to is a sealed motor. You know, it's got to be a sealed motor that if you tamper with it, it cracks the seal or something. And you know what I mean? That's the only way a class like that'll ever.
Like the Comlocks on the old brush motors or something like that.
You crank one of those, you crack the com, or you can see it, you know, that it's been twisted.
Yeah, that's to me, it's so crazy because I remember my car was garbage, and I was racing against like Toso and a couple other people in the main, and I think it was like third, fourth, fifth. These guys would pass me in the infield, and we'd hit the straightaway and go right back by them.
Yeah.
Because Vegas was like a 200-foot straightaway that year or something crazy, or it was 140 or something. But I mean, it was big, and we'd hit the straightaway, and it was like, I want to go right back by him, and they'd have to pass me in the infield.
Yeah,
I got to the point about 6 minutes into the main, like I felt bad for Chris and some of the other guys that were trying to deal with me because it was like, man, these guys got to be tired of trying to drive their ass off away from me.
And you know what says a lot about the integrity of the drag racers? Every 13.5 race I've been to, there's never a motor I've seen that looked questionable. They all look the fucking same. You know what I mean? You can tell somebody's out tuning somebody, or I didn't see one motor that I would suspect to be tampered with. You know what I mean? They all looked like R1 13.5s. You know, which was really cool to see. You know, nobody's out there running 2/10 quicker than anybody else, you know, unless it's their car that's so good. But, I mean, there was nothing that kind of sparked anyone's interest that anyone was cheating, you know?
Yeah.
So, I mean, that kind of says a lot about the group as a whole, you know?
So there wasn't that many oval racers running.
No.
Nobody taking a wind off a pole at the Snowbirds or anything like that.
No, but I mean, it would be so easy to cheat up a 13.5 if somebody wanted to, and nobody did it.
Yeah.
So I mean, that kind of says a lot. Everyone kind of respects each other a little bit, I think.
Yeah, or they just don't know how to do it yet.
Yeah. They'd figure it out, you know what I mean, or talk to somebody that could. They'd figure it out.
I think what probably helps that too, though, is they do the thermal epoxy in there now. So back when we were, you know, when we were having issues with guys, you know, pulling a wind out of one or two poles of the stator,
they wouldn't have to do that. All they'd have to do is get like a 7.5 or a 6.5 and throw it in there.
Yeah, I think that at that point that's pretty obvious. You'd have to do some.
No, but with the lack of tech, nobody would have ever caught it. You know, I mean, so I think that's really cool that everyone kind of stayed on the up and up and ran everything legit. You know, I mean, that's
very true. Very true.
It was good to see. You know, I mean, people still have some morals, which was nice.
Yeah, which was nice.
And I think 17.5 will be the same way. You know, 17.5 is good too.
Yeah. So. It'll be interesting to see.
I think the drag stuff's a good thing right now.
I definitely think it's a good thing for the hobby as a whole. And I think it also shows the rest of the industry. You know, I think at first everybody's kind of looking at it like, that's a fad, it's going to pass. But I think over time they're realizing, this isn't a fad. Like, you know, this is, you know.
Yep. He's going to be
This
here a
is
while.
this is something that's going to stick around for a while. So, and that was kind of my point with my post. Is I just hope that the guys making the rules kind of understand the impacts that some of the rules have, and don't just think about them from a one-sided thing. I really hope that they actually, like I said, get some of the guys that run pretty good, ask them if they want to participate in like a demo thing or a practice thing or something to just show off.
I mean,
Some of you guys have enough cars, and this was always one of my big things with IFMAR, is you got all these guys here for a world championship. You got the best guys on the planet here. We all usually stay after a day or two because of the scheduling. So if there's bad weather or anything like that, like they would push the race back. Yeah. So why don't you just let everybody stay or invite them to stay and say, hey, we're here for the finals if such and such for bad weather. If we don't have bad weather, let's stick around and let's test this. Each of the manufacturers submit a, hey, let's try this motor.
Yeah, see, there's really none of that with NPRC.
Or any of that kind of
I talked to the majority of like the people that are winning races, in Outlaw and 13.5. I'm friends with them all. Like we're all good friends. We talk, we bullshit. Yeah. And I don't know, not one of them has been contacted by NPRC for their input. I mean, every once in a while I'll get a message from somebody that's partially involved, and I'll give my opinion, but I don't think they do that with a lot of people. You know what I mean? They need to be reaching out to 20, 30 fast people that are really deep into Outlaw and deep into 13.5. And, hey, what do you guys got for suggestions to make this better?
Yeah, and
as a whole, not just for this little part of the country,
Exactly, and that's where I think it's so important, especially, too, if you do it in a in like a semi-public manner to where people can look at it and be like, oh, that sucks, and then you actually try it or show them and they're like, well, that's actually not too bad. Like,
and even reach out to some new people, not only just the fast guys and experienced people. I mean, reach out to some new people. We'll see what their thoughts are. Hey, you just got started. I mean, how do you feel about selling or throwing your motors in the garbage and buying a couple new motors? But it's going to benefit, but it's going to benefit the class in the long run. I mean, if you could pitch it like that, then hey, it's not so bad. If it benefits everybody, eat the motor or whatever and buy a new one, and if it's going to benefit the hobby, hell yeah.
Yeah.
People are reasonable.
So that's where I don't think what they did is all that terrible, like everybody was kind of freaking out about.
Yeah.
But I do think if they would have presented it a little bit better.
Yes.
Or taking the steps to kind of do that, like, hey, hey, we're going to run this event. We're going to have this class and these rules as like a demo thing that people to try out. Then okay, then you can get some feedback, tweak some stuff if you need, whatever. And then everybody's gonna be happy, like, oh, dude, that was sweet. Like, they talked to them, we figured it out, ran some stuff. Those are actually pretty good. They're way faster now, whatever. And it's a healthy thing for the hobby, not a.
I mean, be able to explain your changes.
You guys are dummies. Like it.
Yeah, be able to explain why you're doing what you're doing for a good reason, Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'm off. I don't know.
No, I think again, it's the same.
And like I said before, I really don't give a shit what the rules are. I'll adapt to them. But there's a lot of people that do care, that spend a lot of money that they probably shouldn't be fucking spending on a hobby. You know what I mean? And
yeah.
I mean, we've all been there where we spent more money than we should on a hobby, and it gets frustrating. I can see that too,
I did lately.
Yeah, I mean,
I did lately. All this crap behind me. You keep yelling at me every time. I'm like, hey, I ordered another printer. Like, you have a problem, dude. You need to stop.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
I can't help myself. They're fun.
But that's how it goes.
Yeah, I'm like a kid in a candy store over here.
Yep. And regarding the rules, it is what it is, man. Abide by them and
yeah.
Whatever. The social media is what hurts everything.
Yeah.
Because nobody ever talks about this shit in person. They're all just happy and racing,
Yeah. Well, I mean, also you get people that are probably in a hurry to post to make a comment, and then it sounds like they're full on scorched earth.
Yeah.
So that makes it a little bit more difficult as well. So
Yep.
that's also kind of an issue with it.
Yeah. I mean, everybody's got access to social media, so you get everybody's opinion whether you want it or not.
Yeah, that's one of the things that I've tried to stay away from. Like a lot of the forums or arguing with stuff is just. It reminds me of it was a while back. I was on RC Tech, and I never go on there anymore because the one day I was arguing with a guy about 12 scale modified rules. And the guy that I was arguing with had never even raced 12, not even modified, not even 12 scale at all. He had just started and was racing a Mini Cooper.
Yeah, there you
go. He was arguing me about like 12 scale modified rules for a world championship. And that's why I asked him, I'm like, dude, no offense, I've never heard of you. Like, who are you and where have you raced 12 scale mod? Oh, I haven't raced. I just started like, 6 months ago, and I've got a Tamiya Mini Cooper. I'm like, well, do you even know what a 12 scale mod car is? Like, come on.
I got to start looking at profiles before I start firing back at people. See what you're dealing with.
I've
whether
unfortunately
it's worth your time or not.
I've unfortunately done that just to understand like questions that I get asked with some of our products, because I have to kind of look and understand, especially sponsorship stuff. I've had a lot of people that have pinged me for sponsorships, and then I go and look, and like they just started racing, and they're asking like their local group, for like, how do I set my radio? How do I set my endpoints? Stuff like that.
See, we're way different, dude. Like, I'll look at profiles to see if somebody is as dumb as they look, if they look as dumb as they sound, when they're rambling bullshit, That's the only time I do it. Like, if they're rambling some fucking nonsense, I'll look and decide whether or not I even want to fuck with it.
Yeah, no,
But no, like as far as messages go, helping people, dude, I help everybody.
Yeah, no, I know that. I'm just laughing
There's
about
no dumb questions.
No, but when you're dealing with like business stuff like that, it's one of those like, I want a sponsorship. Okay, wait a minute. You don't even know how to set your radio. I'm sorry, I can't sponsor you.
You spelled sponsorship wrong.
It's one of those things that's a little bit tough.
You can't even fucking spell it. You want a sponsorship.
Yeah, and that's where I don't think people understand either. And again, probably something I'm going to cover in a different video when talking about some of the stuff, just because of the fact that I'm, with being so new to all this stuff. I mean, I know you and some of the local guys, and of course some of the guys who I know from other forms of RC.
Yeah.
I don't want to just sponsor everybody because you have a credit card that means you're going to run my tire. Because let's face it, I would rather have people that are going to, want to run the tire, and that I know are good representatives, not just for the brand, but also for the hobby in general.
Oh, absolutely.
So, and
it pick people that are good for the hobby.
Yeah, and at the same time, I mean, it goes from like our agreement also. If my stuff works okay and you want to use it, I will send you some. But if it sucks or you're having issues, run whatever, because dude, you're racing for money. That's way you making some money, winning some races is way more important than me selling another pair of tires or anything like that. So that's the other thing I don't think people understand with that, is that I don't really. I look at this totally different, because I also had the experience from the CFEX days when I had that company.
Yep.
And having everybody and your brother ask you for a sponsorship when your company was new and it was exciting. Yep. And then somebody else made something new a few months later, and it was, where'd everybody go?
Yeah.
And so with this stuff too, is I don't want to have that weird animosity or weird feeling with people later on, because
honestly, if you can afford it, no sponsors is the best.
Yeah.
I've only got a handful of sponsors right now, and it's products that I 1,000% believe in, and that's the only reason. If I didn't believe in the products, I'm not going to run it. You know what I mean? And a lot of people talk that, it's They're fast because they're sponsored. They get everything for free, blah, blah, blah.
Those-
Dude, I buy a lot of my own shit. A lot
those-
of it. I've spent fucking, I ain't even going to say small fortunes. I've spent big fortunes on this shit.
Yeah.
And it's the best way to be, because if a new product comes out next month that's better, guess what? I'm not locked in with nobody. I'll go buy it and run it.
Yeah.
I'll run whatever I want to run. You know what I mean?
And that was the big problem. Like a lot of us that were quote unquote pros, that you see like such a big deal with the off-road guys with tires or different things at different races, is we end up being locked into stuff. Like I would go to a world championship, you know, when I was racing for Protoform, for example.
Yep.
Okay, you got a sponsorship with them. You go to the race and, you know, say whatever, one of the other body companies has got a new A-scale body and you're 3/10 off the lap. Or like we did that. We went to Messina in Italy, and we got there and Kyosho had a new body and somebody else had a new body. I forget the name of the company now, but they were like 3/10 a lap, 4/10 a lap faster.
Yeah, and you travel all the way across the world to get beat by a body because you're locked in by a body sponsor. I ain't traveling to Ohio to get beat by a different body. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so
that's just how it is.
Is okay, we pulled them off. We ran those bodies because, of course, you know, our main sponsors were Kyosho, so we had to, you know, we had to get competitive. It's a world championship. They spent thousands of dollars on us, and so we do that, and then you get home and you get the nasty emails, you know, chewing you out or firing you from your Protoform ride, and I'm like, look, man, this is all I can do. Like, I don't really have a choice in the matter, you know.
I mean, I get a lot of these people, the sponsorship really helps them financially. You know, this shit's expensive. And I get that, you know, 50, 75%, 100% deals, they all help, you know.
Yeah.
And if that's what it takes to go racing, you got to do it. Like me as a kid, I couldn't afford to do all this, you know what I mean? So I needed the help. So all the sponsors when I was a kid, I would struggle with a subpar product if I had to, because it's what I got and I was able to afford, you know what I mean? But if you can afford to do this shit, I don't know, steer clear of sponsors and buy everything, you know, because it's a shitty feeling when you're at a race locked into something and something's better kicking your ass and you can't run it because you get a 50% deal off, you know?
Yeah. Well, that was the same thing like the last time we ran snowbirds. I think again a lot of us were running Protoform, and then was it Montec? They showed up with this crazy cab forward, super slammed in the nose touring car body. Yeah. And I watched Tony Leo like run the sweeper like flat out.
Nice.
In touring car, and I'm like, I'm not working on that class anymore. So I didn't even work on my touring car the rest of the weekend because we didn't have, you know, I couldn't run that body. So it's like, man, this is such a bummer.
Yeah, I've been to the birds with battery sponsors, and a better battery came out, and my team manager would come over to me and hand me that battery with our label on it. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So it's
dude, I was at a world championships and watched the guy that eventually won take his batteries, peel the Roar tape off of them, pop them apart, and drop in a different pack from another company, and then super glue it back together and stick the Roar legal tape on it, and then walk to tech, and IFMAR tagged it as a legal battery.
Yeah, there you go.
And he won a world championships. Like I sat there watching it, just rolling, laughing. Like,
yeah, I mean, if you're a racer, you do what you do to win. You know, whatever it takes, and within the rules, and if it means no sponsors, being able to run whatever you can run and afford.
Yeah,
I mean, that's the way to do it.
Yeah.
But I also like if it's a product I really believe in, I like supporting them, you know, and pumping it up. You know, if it's something, if there's something good, and I think it's the best out there, man, I'm put my name on it, you know.
Yeah.
So there's a bunch of fun in RC.
Yeah. Like I said, I think this year is going to be extremely interesting. I think between more people getting involved, more people getting really fast, everybody kind of stepping up their game.
Oh yeah.
I think this year is going to be pretty crazy. I'm excited actually to try and make it to a few races. I actually looked up the stuff for going to Vegas.
Yeah.
which, we should definitely have tires available by then. So if they don't totally suck and everybody wants to kill me,
no, they're not
then,
going to. We already proved they don't suck with the prototypes, and those weren't even right yet.
Yeah. No, the foam now alone in itself, I think you would be like, wow.
Yeah.
They feel righteous now. So I'm pretty excited for that. So I think I'm going to try and hold out a little bit to see if we're going to run this weekend. And I'll probably glue up another set. I got all the foam sitting back here behind me that I did, and then when you said the roads were wet, I didn't even bother gluing them.
Yeah.
So,
wait for all this snow to dry up and see what the weekend looks like.
Yeah, and I might actually have the box sell all the other compounds.
Okay.
So first time that we ran, we just had some different variations of the super softs.
Yep.
They have, I forget how many. I don't remember if they said it was 3 or 6 different compounds that they sent. So we might have another variation of a super soft and then the soft and medium. So
cool.
So we'll see.
Yep.
We will see. So,
good deal.
Yeah. So anything else? Look at some of the questions over here.
We got questions?
Looks like we have a few.
Fire off.
Limiting
they're probably
drivers.
all just asking about your tires when they're going to be done.
One guy asked, "I'm just here for the tires."
See?
Let's see. Nick Leone, what's up? Magnetic, how's it going? Limiting drivers to one class. You're going to lose a bunch of 17.5 entries that aren't going to be made up with new guys.
True.
Yep. 17.5 boosted is faster than 13.5 blinky. I think that's going to be the case.
Most likely true.
How about eliminating tire prep in every class, dry tire only? I would like that.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. I think that puts us with what we have coming at a bigger advantage.
Yeah. They'll go fast on dry tire too. I mean, it don't matter.
Yeah.
They'll go faster with a prep tire.
Yeah, for sure.
It depends where you want the class to head. If you want it to stay kind of like where it's at, okay, dry tire. But if you wanted to keep evolving, I think the prep. I was so against prep at first, but after you start using it and getting used to it and figure it out, it adds a little bit of more consistency to the program.
Yeah.
And I think it made racing better. With all the power we're putting out with these outlaw cars, you go to a big race and there's not many people smoking curbs or spinning out. I'd say it improved racing at least 60% for people getting down every pass. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You still have people, and I've done it. I've spun the tires with prep too. But consistently, it makes for better racing, I think.
Yeah.
We already opened that can of worms. Just kind of, I don't know. The box is open.
Yeah.
I don't think they're gonna be successful putting it back in.
No, you're not going to be able to dial that back. The first time I came out and watched you run, you were cleaning with Simple Green.
Yeah, dry tires. Wasn't running anything on the time. We were running like 189s that day, 188s.
Yeah.
And upper 70s. So the dry tire, it's what it'll do is spread the field further apart.
Yes.
The people that put in the work and put in the time to figure out the car and that'll spend the money on tires, because once the compound's out of the tires, dry tires are shit. Tires don't last as long. I don't know, man. I just think it's more cost effective and the racing's better with prep.
Yeah.
Because when I was running dry tires, I needed a brand new set, at least 1 to 2 sets every race day. I've got probably 400 pair of reactions over here.
Well, I'll be honest, like looking at the tires and the compounds that are being used, the tire wear to like performance ratio is pretty high.
With prep.
Without prep.
Yeah, without prep, they wear out like crazy. Yeah.
Yeah. So newer tires are going to be way faster because at least from my knowledge of the rubbers and everything that I know and also I've learned just in a short amount of time of launching this product, the rubbers that are out there will make grip, but they will also degrade very fast.
Yes.
So the prep, in my opinion, really helps the longevity of the tires to where.
Yeah, I mean, you get 100 passes on a pair of tires now, you know.
Yeah.
And in the, you know, it depends how fast you're going, but I mean, there's people that get 200-300 passes on a pair of tires with prep.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's
And
substantially changed.
yeah, and you mean it? People are bitching about buying a 17.5 motor. Wait until they bitch about spending $100 to $200 every race day on tires.
My stupid cat just like tried to airmail it onto me.
I'm surprised mine ain't in here yet.
Whoa, what are you doing? So yeah, I don't think people realize the grip difference and the tire life difference.
Yeah, it's substantial.
Yeah, so that's one of the things for me. I wouldn't mind it, but
yeah.
No,
Well,
I don't think
being a tire manufacturer, hell yeah, you wouldn't mind.
Well, I'm not thinking of. I mean, I guess I'm not thinking of it like a proper tire manufacturer. I should be happy that.
Oh, I know. I know. Honestly, your compounds will probably dominate with no prep. Just because how the softness and the quality of the rubber, where it came from, you know, and it's just a better rubber.
I mean, also, like I said, I know the blend and durability wise. I mean, we can have something that would outlast everything by quite a bit too. So it makes it a more expensive tire for us to sell, but it's definitely
exactly.
So all right.
So I mean, for outlaw preps to stay.
Yeah.
I don't think prep's going nowhere. I mean, there's a handful of people in the rulemaking positions that are kind of anti-prep, would like to see dry tires, but I think they know better than to change that rule, because that would literally explode. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That would be way worse than 13.5 to 17.
Oh yeah, this 13.5 would be like nothing.
Yeah. All right. One of the guys is hoping for some front wheel drive rules. Do they even race that?
A few people have built cars that are really cool.
Okay.
But I've never seen them raced anywhere. And they're not legal, I don't think, in the normal outlaw class.
Dude, have you seen those drag bikes?
Yeah, those are cool.
I so want to order one.
Yeah, those are super cool.
like I've been ordering enough stuff lately. I order that. I'm liable to have my wife punch me in the back of the head over here.
I can kind of see a bunch of companies getting on board with those and making them.
Dude, they look so good.
I can kind of see a rule set coming out for those.
Yeah, those look really, really trick.
Yeah.
So when he sent me a picture of that, he had asked me about how wide my tire was. I'm like, why? And he sent me a pic. I'm like, oh.
Yeah, they're bad.
That looks badass.
Yep.
So
those things would rip with big motors, but I don't think they'd be able to do that. Like if they did a class for them things, they'd probably like have to limit it to like, I don't know, a 10.5 motor or something, just so that just so the racing's good. You start getting stuff too fast and the racing turns to shit.
Yeah,
look at 10 scale oval.
I think the biggest thing would be to see how they shut down. That would be my number one concern.
Yeah.
Like how stable are they under
Probably
shutdown?
Fine. Probably not bad. So? They're really light.
Yeah.
They should stop quick. I don't know. A couple people I know just bought some, so I'll get get their opinion on it soon. Yeah.
All right, what else we got here? Have I run my CJC chassis yet? If you count about 35 feet in total, that's about it. Let's see. What else? Adam Worthy said, "What's up, fellas?"
What's up, Adam?
How many of people have had issues with Hobby Wing? From Jeremy Fish.
Issues with Hobby Wing?
Yeah.
Does it say what kind of issues?
No, it just says want to know if it's me or others too. Let's see.
The only issues I have is when I put way more horsepower than I should to
it. when you exceed the gigawatts of timing.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's my own fault.
Yeah. And then I got a private chat message. I haven't seen this flashing. It's from Gary. So can I get on that tire sponsorship stuff, please? I need tires bad. The best part is he spelled tire with Tyre. He officially gets absolutely no sponsorship for that.
Did he spell sponsorship right?
Sponsored chip.
Oh. No bueno.
Nope. It's a double strike. He has to pay asshole tax.
Come on, Gary.
That's great. I love it. All right. Anybody else that's still on have there's other people are laughing about TYRE. Now I know why he put it in a private chat.
I know what I'm getting Gary for next Christmas.
It's so funny. He was in our chat thing. Like we could have added him, but it kept erroring out and saying that his microphone and camera weren't connected. So I don't know how he was trying to join. If he was like on his computer with no mic or camera, or what he was doing. So I sent the link so they could try it, but
nice.
It's like nobody else was brave tonight. So all right.
Caught me between glue and tires.
Yeah. Well, this was my free few minutes between hockey stuff and printers. So I got one that just finished and another one that's going to finish. Oh no, it did finish. So I got the one next to me has printing air valves. The one over there in the corner with the bead cut rubber. That one's done. And this one right next to it is about to be done. And this one right here is not going to finish. Right there, that one's not going to finish until the morning. That's hoods. And then the other ones are rear rims, so I will change those before I go to sleep at about midnight.
Nice.
So, yep. The kids should be home from hockey in about 45 minutes, maybe half hour. So
you got a few minutes left.
Yep, I can finish here. I'll post back up my shock tower. So I am going to double check my dimensions that this thing actually fits and try and print it and see how bad it doesn't fit the front end of a car and see if it actually fits under a body. So I shortened it.
Get it on and let's break it this weekend.
Yeah. So I shortened it about 12 millimeters, like down shock shaft length.
Think that's enough?
I don't know. It's going to be close. As I did it, though, I tried to stand. Yeah, I tried to stand them back up a little bit. I don't like them being all that laid down. So, the other good thing, my computer is on the way. So I've been talking about doing more videos and that kind of stuff. And every time I try and work on editing the video on my computer, it basically shuts down and blows up and locks up and kicks me off. So
that's not good.
I finally broke down and bought a replacement for my 11-year-old PC.
Perfect.
So hopefully in the next week it shows up and hopefully all that stuff gets going and then I can actually start doing all the crazy video stuff that I really want to do. So
good deal.
Because right now I'm sick of trying to put stuff together on my phone.
Yeah, it's a pain in the ass.
Yeah. So I'll be able to use all the good video editing software and stuff like that. And Frank and I were having fun before this started because I bought a new microphone since my mic didn't work last time. And now this mic isn't working, even though it did when we first started, before I hit play. And now I'm using the mic on my webcam that didn't work last time. So I don't know. I'm apparently a computer idiot.
Technology.
Yeah. Let's see. ESC out of the box didn't work. Sent it in. They said it was something I did, hooking it up. Not sure. Pay for replacement, upgrade wire size, get it in the box, and it smells super burnt. That's definitely a Charlie question.
Yeah.
You have to
message tech support and
yeah.
say I want to talk to Charlie.
Yeah.
Sorry, Charlie.
Sure. Yeah. That's a whatever their RMA and tech support stuff is.
Yeah.
Oh. Ouch. I wish I had a better answer for you there.
What's
I have
that?
enough support issues. I never even took it out of the box and sent it back, so now paid 3 shipping charges, and they said it was normal.
Oh, that's painful. Yeah, I've never had that type of issue. Like, if I have one burn up or whatever, I'll do the RMA and send it back, and they've all been pretty good with me about it.
Yeah.
I haven't got anything that smelt burnt up or anything.
Yeah.
I've been lucky, I guess.
Yeah, they might have just sent the same one back and said it was fine.
Possible.
So.
Yep, that's Hobby Wing tech support question there.
Yeah. Sorry we can't help you out on that one. Anybody else got anything? Because otherwise I'm going to let Frank go finish his tires, and I'm going to set the printer program up to make this thing happen so I can laugh at how bad it doesn't fit and try again. Anyone? Oh, thank you, sir. Much appreciated. I guess do the everybody, if you can do the like, subscribe, and bell for notifications, blah blah blah. You know, the social media crap. That would be awesome. So, in the future, once I actually get running, I'll be doing all kinds of dumb stuff. I've got my linear rails for smashing things. We got new computers coming. We got new printers to play with. We got a lot of stuff going on. So the next few months, it's going to be a lot of fun. And I hope to start meeting and seeing a bunch of you guys at some of the drag races this year as we get our tires launched. So I'll probably be coming to the races for support and hanging out and helping glue tires or throw tires at people or whatever. So I'll try and enjoy some RC shenanigans this summer with everybody.
There you go.
Yeah. No, I'm not racing.
Yeah, you are.
No, I'm not.
Yeah.
Yep.
You'll get the bug.
Nah.
Build a 17.5 car.
I won't run 17.5 in on-road. Sure as hell I'm not doing it in drag racing. And I'd probably get hole shotted by some little kid and he'd kick my ass anyway, he or she.
That happens.
Yeah. I'm Hey, did you ever do the R1 video game?
No, I downloaded it and I was gonna play with it, but then real life got busy.
just give it to Ace. Let him do it.
Yeah. I think I downloaded it though. I have to check. I don't know. I just had to delete a bunch of apps because the storage was low.
I sent you a screenshot of what I had. I just played enough to beat a few people that I wanted to.
Nice. Names. People were bitching about the game too. Like there was drama about the game that they were guessing the lights or whatever. I'm like, come on, people.
Uh-oh. Did you figure it out how to make it work, Gary? Gary. He popped back up in here. But again, dude, I don't understand why this dude can't figure out how to have his mic and screen active.
He makes nice wings. Leave him alone.
All right, I'm kicking him out. All right. Thanks for watching, everybody. Catch you guys later.
Later.
I'll have some more videos of some other stuff soon. I got to actually paint some bodies for these things. So I'm going to get videos up of that. I'm actually going to have some videos of mountain tires and all kinds of other stuff here coming soon. So I'll catch you guys later. And no, Bob, I am not racing. So retirement is not over.
Yeah, we'll see about that.
All right, Frank, have a good one. Catch you later.
Later.
See you.